so graphene coating review. The first review on a car that we've done a graphene coating on. We've done quite a lot of cars now with a graphene, and it's been really good. We absolutely love it, but it's a relatively new product to the market. This particular car, we've already done video footage showing how good it is when the car was just done. That was nearly a year ago. But the gentleman's come in because it's got a scratch in it here. The gardener's scratched it, and we're hoping that it's not damaged the paint. I'm not saying graphene would stop that scratching and damaging the paint, but it's a lot less likely to have damaged it. So we're going to buff this panel and hopefully get this scratch good enough, and then we'll recoat the panel. But while we're here, we're going to give it a clean because we want to do a little review on it, and why not? So, graphene coating review. Well, the first things first, it looks stunning anyway, even though it is quite dirty. You can definitely see that it's got a super gloss. I don't know if you can see that in the film, but I definitely can see that the car's quite dirty. And the owner has already said that he doesn't seem to have to clean it a lot. He has somebody come round and clean it, but his son's car hasn't got a coating, and that's black. And his son's car always looks filthy, and they do the son's one as well. And this one always seems to look clean and shiny. And that's what I'm seeing right now. You can see it is really shiny, but it's dirty. So we're going to give it a clean and then show you what it looks like. But we'll also show you the way the water behaves, and we'll have a look and see what the paintwork's like. Normally, this guy lives out in the country, normally would have expected to by now be seeing scratches all the way down the near side. Anyone who's watching this who's got one of these will be familiar with having to dive into the trees and all the scratches down these wings. Not seeing a scratch at the moment, nothing at all, but we'll wash it and we'll see how good it is. So I'm looking at the main scratch here, but it's bigger than it looks. It's up here, but these are finer ones. So this is what happens sometimes when you're looking at something. You're thinking to yourself, oh, it's that, but then you remove that or you're working on that, and then you realise it's this. So this little scratch goes from here right the way across here, but then you've got more bits up here. I think that somebody's tried to squash past it. So we'll just have to, we'll machine the area with a buffing machine, but we'll do a bigger area so that it all blends in. The main focus is this, and I'll be honest, I don't think we can get this perfect, this bit. It's gone through a little bit deeper. But the gentleman's asking maybe he'll make a compromise rather than have the panel resprayed. So we're going to try to do our best, and if we can do it, then you know, that would be, hopefully, if he can get it acceptable, then you know, that might mean that it says respraying it. Right, so we're currently giving it a wash, obviously, and it looks plenty of soap on there. We've jetted it off first. Obviously, you don't want to be sponging it with any grit on the car, so it's had a very good jet wash, and now it's getting clean with a soft sponge, and you can already see there that it's looking mega shiny. Well, that's having an extremely hydrophobic effect with extreme shine. Right, so first point to make, that it's drying, looking amazing already, but it's easier to dry because there's less water on it. There still is water on it, of course there is, but there's less. So look at that door there. James can just run a cloth over that. Now what I suggest is that if you're going to do this, if you've got a coating and you're watching this and thinking, I don't dry it like that, my advice is to get round and dry it as quick as you can. Get 80% of the water off in one go and then go round and finish it off. So here's our scratch on that panel, by the way. We're doing that. Obviously it's important to get the clean it all before you put a buffing machine anywhere near it. But at the same time, obviously we're washing it. So it's already looking better because a lot of the debris that was on there has come off by washing it. When I say debris, I'm talking about whatever was smudged up around this area. It's mainly the scratch we got left. And that often happens. You find if somebody scratches their car against you and you've got a decent quality coating on, you can sometimes find that their car has scratched the paint off and yours hasn't, if that makes sense. Doesn't always work, but it does a lot. We'll see what we can do with this scratch, but the main thing I'm showing you right now is how lovely the car's looking as James is drying it off. Big job still though, isn't it, James?
Yep.
Still a lot of work to wash one of these, even if you've got a coating on. It's, you know, it's a big job. But can you see the way the water's sitting on the side of it there? So it is hydrophobic. You might be wondering why it is sitting on there, but it does drop off if you drive it, of course. As well, if you get wind and movement, but you still do have to dry it. If people are watching this and thinking, oh, I didn't think you would, well, yeah, you still have to wash it and dry it, and you do have to wash them properly. So you do have to wash them properly, because if, like glass, if you wash it and you miss a bit, it doesn't dry nice, you know. So we'll make it, you know, James has had to get every little bit to wash it properly when you do wash it. Yes, it's easier to wash, but you do have to be diligent and get into all the little corners and the gaps. Otherwise it will punish you. And that goes the same with any car, but more on a graphene coated or ceramic coated car, because of course you're looking for that extra shine, and you know, of course, the little bits then that will affect it if it's not washed properly. But we're getting that shine, that I can tell you. It's nearly dry, and then the tyres have gone brown. I think what that is the tyre sheen that the car cleaner uses. It's just reacted with the soap that we've used. But the wheels are clean. There's no brake dust on them. It's a good sign because they were coated. So this machine is what we call a DA, which means that it doesn't make circles. We've decided to go straight on with a DA. We're going to hit it quite hard. That will get us the best result. But it's got to get through the graphene first, so he's giving it an even spread, and then we'll coat the door with the graphene so it all overlaps once it's done. Hopefully we'll get the result we're looking for. Right, so we're happy now. Yeah. It's amazing what that's done. When we washed it, all this bit up here all washed off. So then we buffed it, and look at that. There is a bit there, but you can't see it. Where is it, James? Show me. Yeah, it is there slightly, but I think you'll be happy with that. Yeah, tiny little embedding there. So we can graphene coat it again, but the only problem is if we do that, it can't go out in the rain for 6 hours, isn't it? Yeah, so while we're on the phone, we'll just notice the trim's coming away a little bit here. Might have to go back to the dealer at some point. That seems to be very stretched. And same on the other side. Otherwise, the car's absolutely lovely. It still is like brand new. So there's the other bit coming away here, look, here. And here and here, so I think, you know, they'll probably have to rectify that problem. But we like the car, the paint. It looks absolutely wonderful. So we'll wait for you to let us know what you want to do. I mean, we can put the coating on today. You'd have to have it tomorrow morning or from tomorrow onwards. If you don't, you can have it now and then bring it back when you know you can afford to lose it for a day. So we've now buffed the area with a buffing machine. And you can see there's a massive improvement. There still is a little scratch there running across there, and you can see that in different lighting and different parts of the day, that's going to be more or less obvious. But a customer doesn't want to have it sprayed. I don't think he knows it's going to cost a lot of money, and he's prepared to live with that. Otherwise, it's going to come out a lot of money to have this resprayed. So we've buffed this area right across here because the scratching was up here and down there, but the main one here we knew that might not be right. But you can see there, I don't know how much well you can actually see it, but you can see the line there up and down. The line down the middle is just to run out of the water out of the mirror. But anyway, we're going to recoat it because part of the reason why we think it's not scratched it too much is that this has got a graphene coating on it to protect it, and I think it's done its job very well, because the scratching above was, that's not even marked it now. Good news, hopefully, for the people that are paying for it, because I think he's been very reasonable. You could have had to have resprayed the door, do it properly, got to remove the handles, and certainly would have been a lot of money, and then you would have had to put the coating back on. But he's a realist. He knows that things happen. And, this is probably going to have a few scratches in the next few years anyway, so he's been very reasonable. Okay, so I'm happy we've done it, and we've given it a wash while it was here. Right, so it's been out for a year and a bit, maybe around about a year since we coated it. He lives in the country. I'm not seeing any scratches down this side at all. Now, cars like this, you would expect to see scratches all the way down the near side, and I'm not seeing any. So we've washed it today, and there was a scratch. Not a lot of marks on the bonnet either. You normally get all these marks from mainly insects, but there's no evidence of any insect marks on there. And obviously you get the fine stones and so on. There's not a lot there. And I've looked down here. This is where you normally get all the hedges dragged past. Not seeing any evidence there of any scratches. So it's doing its job. Got a stone chip there, and there's a little tiny blemish there. Don't know if you can see that at the end of my finger. Otherwise, the whole nose cone is amazing. Looks still like new, and the wheels are still lovely. No brake dust stuck on them. These scratch a lot less with the coatings. People think it's going to stop it scratching. No, it will still scratch. And the the lawnmower man scratched it here. But what I can say is where all those swirly bits you'd see on a black car, this is already looking fantastic. So, you get the black car, and they're difficult to manage. And this is a difficult car to manage anyway, even with the coating on. I've got to say, James was cleaning it earlier, and, you do have to clean every bit of it. And it's a big car. God knows what it would be like to have to manage this car without any kind of coating on it at all. I think it would very soon be grey and scratched. That's basically what happens. You get the black car starts to become grey with all the scratches on it. And what I'm seeing here now is a lovely black glossy car, and this is round about a year in. So he's going to get to own this car like new for the period he's got it, and hopefully when he sells it, it will just need a wash and clean. Maybe the odd scratch, I don't know, but not a lot else to do on it. Now, the scratch that he was in for to deal with today, we've managed to buff that out. It's not perfect, but you've got a tiny little line there. It's a very faint line. I don't know if you can see it, but wowee, that saved him respraying that door. I can be pretty confident that the damage that was done by the lawnmower would have been worse than that. So, I think he said he's going to live with this. We're going to recoat this door because it's had a lot of machining to get it to that. And we're going to recoat this door, and then he's going to go again with it rather than having it resprayed. He's a bit more sympathetic to the gardener. But what a car, and what a finish. I've got to say, I think this graphene is the best stuff we've been using since we've been doing this stuff. And we've done a whole load of different products and changed and chopped and changed and looked at different ones, and we've been doing this a long time now, and this graphene is better than anything. It's absolutely amazing. Look at that. Woohoo! He's going to be pleased with that, I can tell you.